My name is Josh. Welcome to my channel. This is IamMunyan. Please subscribe, as I am a small channel and I'm trying to grow. This is a follow-up video, the last video I did, which was how to save $10,000 in 8 months working a minimum wage job. I got a lot of interaction and a lot of feedback with that, so I just wanted to follow that up and say, hey, here's what I did with my $10,000, and you can do it too. Most of the investment advice that comes from money.com, Business Insider, from like financial professionals, it's all geared towards people who have massive amounts of disposable income. Massive amount. It's like, okay, but what about those of us who are like normal middle class and we only have like maybe like $1,500 to invest? And then you read those articles and it's like, do you have $100,000 lying around? Anyway, this video is a follow-up to that last video, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did with my $10,000. Thank you for watching. I'm Josh. Roll the intro. Woo! Let's talk about the things that I did with the $10,000 that I saved up. First, let's start with the boring stuff. The very first thing that you want to do once you've saved up 10 grand, it's kind of boring but completely necessary. You want to pay off all your debt. All your debt, starting with the smallest debt and then the next biggest debt and the next biggest, because that's going to create this psychological phenomenon known as success momentum. And before you know it, you'll be able to blow through your debt. So that's the first thing, even though it's not that exciting and it's a little bit boring, you want to pay off your debt. I just set aside a $1,000 or $2,000 rainy day fund. This is really smart because you just have a $1 or $2 grand in cash somewhere where it's not going to be touched, and this is in case you need it for some kind of emergency. Your car breaks down, you have a medical emergency, whatever. Otherwise, you don't touch it. The next kind of boring but totally necessary thing that I did with the money that I saved, I put some money into a Roth IRA.
You know, I would say when I was in my 20s, I invested very traditionally. Roth IRA.
So basically with a Roth IRA, what happens is you invest money and you can't touch it again until you're 65. But here's the cool thing, is that the interest that it accrues exponentially, let's say you get 10% interest on $1,000. That year, then in 1 year, you'll make $1,100, right? Let's say you make 10% interest on it again. This time you're making 10% interest on $1,100, and it just more. That's a pretty good deal. It's kind of boring because it's like, okay, you make a Vanguard account. I actually had to have my brother help me do it because I didn't really understand all the ins and outs of it. The 3 boring but totally necessary first steps you should take is you should set aside a rainy day fund, invest in a Roth IRA, pay off all your debt. Next thing, an app that I use called Robinhood. So Robinhood is a stock trading app. You can buy and trade on the app from your phone. But here's the cool thing, is that there's no brokerage fees. Dude, I've had Robinhood now for 3 years, and in my opinion, totally worth it. There's some prohibitive things about using a website like eTrader. You buy stocks, you sell stocks, and you have to pay every time you make a transaction. You know, there's like a $7 brokerage fee or something. With Robinhood, there's none of that. I wouldn't recommend going out and buying high-risk stocks with all the money that you just worked your butt off to get. Instead, what I would say is do a little bit of homework on it, and in my opinion, I would choose a low-risk stock so it doesn't have a lot of volatility in the day-to-day fluctuations of the price. I started to get super into virtual reality, and I played Sony VR, like on PlayStation VR, and dude, I was like, this is the wave of the future. I did some research and I thought, okay, I'm gonna put $1,500, $2,000 into Sony through Robinhood so I don't have to pay anything, and over the course of a couple years, I think I've got, $500 or $600 off of it. Next fun thing you can do with it is lower stocks, Roth IRA, blah, 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 see what you must be doing, Mo. Okay, yeah. Invest in yourself. See yourself as a worthwhile investment, something which is worth it to put your time and money into. Look at the thing you enjoy doing most, literally anything.
Now we're gonna demonstrate Congo paillette, very flirtatious.
Watching TV, Netflix, playing video games, exercising, cooking nice, sugary, delicious foods, whatever it is, and then slowly learn how you can monetize that. Pay yourself with the money that you saved, like set aside maybe $1,000 and then start investing in nicer equipment in that specific field, and then you can use that equipment that you've got, you can use that in the description as you're selling your business. So I would say invest in yourself like what I did. I was working as a social worker, and then eventually I started investing in nicer video equipment than I had. And then before you knew it, someone's like, hey, can I pay you like $200 to come shoot some wedding video? You know, that slowly grew into, hey, we're having graduation, can you just come out for a day? Like, how much do you charge? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm like, guess I'll do it for free, or like charge you $100 or whatever it was. And the point is that grew over time. Lastly, what you can do is travel. If you're interested in traveling, check out some of my other travel videos. But here's the thing, is that I was working as a social worker for many years, and then eventually I started to transition into doing video. And there came a time when I had a gap between two jobs, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go travel. If you use the methods that I've talked about on my channel, which are real, by the way, you literally can do them. It cost me $35 to fly to Europe last year, and it cost me $100 to fly home. And this is not like conjecture, this isn't just my, like, this actually literally happened. I'll link the videos below to show you what credit card deals I have. Like the American Aviator Rewards card, this one gave me 60,000 free points. I have several different credit cards like that I use, as well as a lot of tips and techniques for getting cheap flights, learning where to stay, blah, blah, blah. I traveled 17 weeks, and I went to 17 different countries. And you can look on if you follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is IamMunyan. You can also, this is my YouTube, IamMunyan, and Facebook page, IamMunyan. You'll see my travels. I went through Europe, I went a little bit into Africa, teeny tiny little bit into Asia, and then back home. So 17 weeks, 17 countries, and I'm telling you, it's life-changing. I won't get into it here because that's not what you're here for. The point is, invest in yourself, grow your skill sets, and put that money to work for you. Okay, now lastly, I would not leave it just in a safe at your brother's house. That's literally what I did. I had my cash and I'm like, yeah, bro, I got 10 grand. That didn't do anything for me. The age-old adage says, poor people spend their money. Middle-class people save their money. Rich people invest their money. So the worst thing you can do is just put it in a safe where it's not doing anything. Another thing you shouldn't do is you shouldn't invest stupidly. For example, like money markets and CDs, certificate of deposits. The interest rates on these is deplorable. It's like, hey, give us 2 grand, and then over the course of 2 years, you'll get a return of like $50 or something. Avoid those. And I wouldn't keep it in your checking or savings either. I mean, obviously you need some, but for the most part, avoid that because you're not going to get much returns on that at all. You should not invest in anything that you have to make monthly payments on. You should not invest in anything that you have to make monthly payments on, maybe aside from like a house or property. You should not go out and use your 10 grand to buy a sick new whip, buy a new car that you have to make monthly payments on, buy that new TV, that new DJ set, something like that. Avoid monthly payments. If you can't afford to pay for something in cash, outright, don't buy it. You can wait. You don't need it. Okay, wait. And then now I'm just going to do my outro. Is it still going?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, and that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Josh. This is IamMunyan. Please like the video and subscribe, as I'm a small channel and trying to grow. I make new videos often, upload to this channel all the time. Please leave any comments in the description below, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay, first and foremost, let's talk about the things that I did. Wait, start over. Okay, when you invest it, then it starts growing interest at a high rate, depending on what profile of thing you get. Wait, start over. Okay. Jackson. Okay, you got it? Okay. I got the Sony VR app, and no, start over. So set aside maybe $1,000 or $2,000 to invest in yourself in a way that you like doing, for something that you like doing. And lastly, what you can do, and this is kind of weird, but no, it's not. Okay. Okay. So, traveling, invest in yourself,